So something kind of weird about envisioning that I kind of was thinking about this morning, and it blew me away because I'm at the ocean videotaping for positive affirmation videos. It's freaking gorgeous out this morning too. But anyway, something that occurred to me, and it occurred to me the other day in reality, but when I decided that I was going to leave Montana and move, the first thing that I envisioned was me standing at the ocean. And it occurred to me the other day when I was standing there with my son that what I envisioned what had happened. So, and I also envisioned living on the coast more with like an art studio and stuff. But the thing about it is that the house that we bought, I mean, it needs work. It was built in '59, and it needs some work. It needs to be painted on the outside. There's things, but there's enough room for me to have a studio, which I don't use. I need to clean out and use, but I can store my stuff. So I have more room for all of my artwork. So I know that it works. So I know that positive thought and envisioning works. And again, I haven't been totally, I've just been dabbling in positivity all of my life, pretty much. You never really focused on it because it's work. It takes work to change the way that you have felt about yourself all your life. I mean, it's not easy to, it's work, and that's okay. I mean, there's nothing, I'm not saying it's hard work or it's bad work or it's any work. It's just work. It's changing a thought process. It's changing the what are they called? It's changing your brain waves. So, I would like to say that and my son, I really, really love him to death, because what he tells me, and I believe this to be true, is that, I drank all my life to hide whatever it was. And then when I got sober, my focus was on making sure that he was okay, that he had a good home. And I worked 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that I could buy a house, that I could, take care of him and give him all the things that he wasn't getting, because basically I was it for him. I mean, my mom sent him a little bit of money on birthdays and Christmas, but that, which we appreciated, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, let's get back to envisioning. So, and I've listened to a little bit to Louise L. Hay, and I kind of think in a way that she's right. I don't think that just me changing my thought my thought process can change the world, but I think collectively, if I can get enough people on board, right? If I can get enough people to every day from, for 15 minutes live, all of us together at the same time, I will go for a full hour and people can just stop in. And for that full hour, there's collectively enough people with positive thought and positive energy. Maybe we can make a difference collectively, because the world is kind of burning down a little bit. Just a little. And I really, my son is only 20, and I look at Reddit and I go to subs in Reddit, and that's where a lot of teenagers go. Not teenagers, well, teenagers too, and then in Generation Z, not my generation. We're not really the computer people. They are. And there's a lot of desperation. A lot of those kids are desperate. And it's breaking my heart, and I know that what they're going through, because I've lived my whole life in that desperation. The only difference now is that, at least I didn't, at that point in time, the world wasn't blowing up as well, or I wasn't just as aware of it. I think that the way that our political climate is at this point in time, it has caused everything to be so much more on the forefront, that it is so much more on the forefront. That's what it is. And so it's despairing, and it's scary, and it's angry when the President of the United States says to the Proud Boys, who are all about just being a white man, and he tells them to stand down but stand by. What is that saying? And as soon as he got voted in, I told my son that I felt that he was going to try to cause a civil war. And I was kind of joking. And now I'm just kind of wondering if that's what he's trying to do. Because here's the deal. He calls himself a builder, right? So the people that he wants to be buds with and impress, besides everybody, he wants to impress everybody, but I mean, they're builders. So if we burn down our country because of civil unrest, which he is stoking the flames of, who profits from that? Is anyone looking into that? I mean, is it his buddies? I'm betting that his family somehow is rebuilding a lot of the stuff that is being destroyed. And if not yet, they will be if he doesn't go to prison, which he'll probably get Pence to pardon him. But I don't think they can pardon him for state stuff. So, I don't know. He'll just go blow up some other country. But the thing of it is that it feels to me like there's really this ulterior motive behind it, which we know there is. I mean, he's not a dumb man. He's sick. That's clear. But most of the world is sick. I mean, a lot of the U.S. is sick. I mean, look at us. I'm overweight. I've got, not us, I mean us. Well, us. I don't know. Us, whoever, whatever. Look at me. I'm overweight. I've got mental health issues. I mean, the mental health issues in our country are rampant, and they're not dealt with at all. I mean, you're not supposed to feel anything. The younger generation has been told that. It's drilled into them. This is what I get from my son. And, I did that to him as well. I can't even absolve myself from being that way, because I was. I mean, I remember him growing up, and when he cried, I got angry at him for crying. He was a kid, And I remember my mom, you want to cry, I'll give you a reason to cry. That was the generation we grew up with, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people heard that. So it's killing our future. It's killing our generations of our future generations. They're angry and scared, and my generation has the right to get mad at them for not wearing masks and throwing parties. What do we expect from them? What are we expecting from them? We have left them crap. And I can honestly say this. Okay, I went back to school in my 40s. I worked my tail off. There's a car with lights. Okay, it's nothing. I worked 2 jobs, and I went to school, and I earned my bachelor's degree. And when I went out to get a job, the first job that they offered me was $12 an hour. I was $45,000 in debt, and they with a bachelor's degree, and they offered me $12 an hour. I cried for 2 days, and then I accepted the job. Shortly after that, I got offered another one for $16 an hour, which wasn't much better. And then after that, it was another $16.25 an hour with a bachelor's degree. Then I'm $50,000 in debt for now. That's our youth. I mean, and me, at least when I die, I mean, at least I'm 56. I've only got 30 years of paying it. 30, 40, depending, and it won't go to my son. But if you're my son's age and you're strapped with that kind of debt and you can't pay it, and the interest that they charge you keeps adding and adding and adding, and the jobs that they're offering are $15 an hour, literally McDonald's makes almost more than that, which they should, rightfully, because the fact of the matter is that here we are as a nation, okay? COVID has hit. We are hurting. We are suffering. I qualify for unemployment. I haven't gotten it because there was a mistake made on my unemployment thing because I was being honest instead of lying, which I should have just lied. and then I'd be getting unemployment. But that's beside the point. As a nation, we're hurting. They give us $1,200 for 6 months, go on a couple of vacations, show us pictures of their ice cream, and they got their expensive suits. We're paying them in the meantime. And maybe not right now because I'm not working, so I'm not paying taxes. That said, I started working at 16 and I've worked 2 jobs almost all my life. For a little bit of time when my son's dad left, when my son was 6 months old, for I think like 3 years, I got some kind of benefits. And then I got a little bit of benefits while I was going to school. So pretty much the majority of my life, I have worked 2 and 3 jobs, right? And paid taxes. And let me rephrase that, because even when I was getting benefits, I was working and paying taxes. And we're paying them to help us, and they are arguing. That is what our youth see. They see that there are fires all over the country, that there is COVID all over the country, that the people my age that are more susceptible to die of it don't give a shit, so why should they? It makes no sense. They have no reason to care. We have given them no reason to care, and it's really sad, and it really kind of makes me mad, because I love my son. I want my son to have a world left to him. And we don't have a ton of money to go to wherever. It doesn't matter. The world, they're blowing up the world. You can't go anywhere to get away from it. You can have enough money maybe to buy purified water and not have your brain eaten by brain-eating amoebas. So that's cool. There's that for them. You know, the rest of us who really can't afford to buy bottled water and don't want to pollute the freaking world with more plastic, and we can't afford the water filtration systems, we are, can be hurt by brain-eating amoebas. So I don't think we have a right to be angry at the youth for not wearing masks. And I started out talking about envisioning. So maybe if we collectively all just try to envision better, try to envision more for our youth, try to care more, try to look at somebody who's on the corner and not see a dirty person, but see someone who at one time was a child and had some hope, and something happened and broke them and they couldn't find their way out. So instead of seeing somebody trashy, why can't we just collectively, as a whole, as a human freaking, what am I looking at? Species, care about other people for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 60 minutes a day. Maybe just that much will be enough to help. Maybe just that much. You know? I don't know. Crazy talk. I gotta pull over and turn off my camera because I really want to save this. So I'm gonna pull over right here because there's traffic. I don't want to hurt myself. All right, y'all.